second here. You can pull it up on yours. Build our audience here. Over here sitting at Sacred Stones Camp. And I'm pretty sure everyone actually probably would like to see what it looks like at Sacred Stones Camp. So, yeah. And actually I think what I'll do, relatives, is I will show you what it does look like over here at Sacred Stones Camp. So you can see that the Dakota Access Pipeline is full in effect, working like there is no tomorrow. And we're right above camp. So we'll be able to see, you'll be able to see through indigenous eyes what I'm seeing here. And maybe I can even use binoculars. Actually what we can use is a telephoto lens, right? So I'm also here with I call what's part of Digital Smoke Signals with the youth media and the indigenous women's media, is to empower independent media to take their route and share our story, as we are seeing here in Standing Rock, Cannonball, over here in Sacred Stones, and Osheti and Rosebud. So today is the day that the current historical trauma, or the current trauma, is no longer historical trauma. So let me show you here where we're at. It's gonna be get a good spot. I'm gonna pull off this side just a little bit. You don't want to get stuck here. Just okay. So it's say good blessing. Na pija tumia na nanishta hai pija yarwa nanishta hai numaga tsunami yarwa punii. Saying good blessings in what I'm thinking, what I say, what I see. I'm gonna go for all our spirits, for our spirit. Nanishta hai pa pija pa, blessing our water, our good water. Puhapa, our medicine water. Nanishta hai diapa, bless the earth and all our relations in the four directions. Pija tumia, sending all those blessings out there. And saying thank you for this day, this beautiful day, to be here and to share with you in a good way what we're seeing across here, a mile across, which is, I'll get to that in a second here, Bija Biwa, which is, that is it. Pray in your own way. If you're Catholic, Mormon, Buddha, tree hugger, get up there and hug that tree. Pray in your own way. There is no wrong way. Do what you got to do. That helps the movement here, that helps us in a good way and helps us keep pushing forward. And thank you guys for that. All right, guys. Now, what I'm going to show you is this is the top. And so of the, that is right there, the Dakota Access. I call it Dapple of the third kind because it kind of looks like a spaceship. But let me see here real quick here. Let's turn this on. Oh. Alrighty, so there's only one other media group here, which is Indigenous Women's Collective, which is co-founded by Brooke and a couple of other relatives that aren't. Brooke's currently the only one here. And let's get this going here for a second to show you guys what we're seeing today here. So many of you guys are kind of wondering what's going on. The batteries. Many of you guys may be wondering what's going on. There's been a lot going on. I came down just to really do surveillance, get back on track on where we are in the camps, and do everything I can to kind of bring in and help articulate this story here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do it this way because I believe our camera is let's see here, guys. I'm trying to do a really short one too. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that, but I'm going to try. So what this shows is also the camp. Their camp there. Okay.
You see the drill pad.
Yeah, you can see the drill pad. There you go. That's the drill pad right there. All right, guys. Tomorrow we'll get a little. Today, over the pad, the helicopters are going around. The helicopter was just going low, going around. It's going chaotic, flying along the side of the bottom. The drill pad along the side of the river, coming over on the tribal side, and it just was just really going erratic all day, all morning, all afternoon. Both pads are going. The residents here went and visited an elder that's close here, said they could hear the drill. And many of the people here at Sacred Stone can hear the drill, Osheti and Rosebud. The other far side is this side way over there. If you look at where my finger is, right there with a red blinking light, that's the east side. That's the east side of the pad. That's across the water. And then this one right here, that's the west side pad. East side pad, west side pad. A lot of chaos has happened today. For instance, because Trump had signed in the executive order to open the Dakota Access Pipeline as well as the Keystone Pipeline. But right through here is a desecrated site. One of the things I did see with flying the drone is that they are using a type of wireless technology, which we already knew from the last 2 months of when they were doing this. From the North Camp is when the first time we experienced them using a type of technology to take down the drones. This right here is a fly zone. We can fly here. It's not a no-fly zone, so there's nothing we're doing to breaking the law. Maybe breaking the rules, but not the law. The rules are showing what's happening here at the drill pad. Not only did I lose my drone, and this drone was to be lost. We're testing the parameters here, that documenting that they are using technology and they don't have access to. You have to be a government agency. So I'm assuming that there is a government agency on the other side using these types of technology as a training field with drones, is what we're seeing here. Also, I'm gonna introduce Brooke and let her share a little bit about what she was doing up here filming. And she was also had her drone across, which was is gone as well. And so we're gonna do what we can to empower and get her another drone. Digital Smoke Signals has another drone specifically for our Native women and our youth media. So we're not gonna be trying to lose drones all day long, because we know what's happening to these drones already. We don't have that technology on that far side to get there, but we do have it to protect it. So
Hi, everyone.
Introduce yourself and which tribe you are, and give us a little rundown on how Indigenous Collective.
Women's Indigenous Media. I'm Brooke Waka. I'm from Menominee Tribe and Stockbridge-Munsee Band of Mohicans in Wisconsin. Everything he was talking about today is true. I lost my drone. But like you said, we're not breaking the law, we're just breaking the rules because they don't want us to document. And that's what I've been doing for the last week and a half that I've been here, is I've been documenting everything as much as I can. And for the last 2 days, the International Treaty Council was here along with the United Nations. The chair of the United Nations was here. I don't know if you guys got to see any of those live feeds, but there was a lot of pretty intense times. There's a lot of educational opportunities for everyone to see what Morton County has unleashed on water protectors and see the long-term health effects that it could possibly have for us. And yesterday we heard probably about 20-some testimonies from water protectors who had their human rights violated. It was hard to listen to a lot of that, but it was also very educational at the same time, because a lot of water protectors are feeling the effects of PTSD. And one interesting testimony was that a lady came in there and had her hair samples tested, and it tested positive for 2 pesticides and 1 fertilizer. And she listed the symptoms that come along with ingesting those type of pesticides and fertilizer. And what's scary is that a lot of water protectors, including myself, have experienced a lot of these symptoms. So these are things that we need to know as soon as possible, and get the word out, because we could be possibly being poisoned.
What are the symptoms?
Nausea, vomiting, coughing. The coughing resembles a flu-like cough, like a cold cough. You would probably pass it off as a virus, but it lasts for a long time. Mine lasted for a month and a half, and if it gets worse and it doesn't get any better, then it turns into pneumonia. Vomiting, diarrhea, vertigo, dizziness.
What was your symptoms?
I had every single one I just named. The vertigo one and the dizziness was the scariest one that I had. And I had probably about 3 pretty severe episodes of that. Along with a couple of my friends that had the same symptoms. And they didn't understand where it was coming from. They kind of chalked it up to just being at camp and being in a community, which could also have something to do with it, but not to the extent that we're seeing it at camp. And so I think I urge everybody to just be cautious, be aware of what's going on with your body, because these are some scary things that are happening to us, and for what.
Can you give another update about your drone? When you're saying that you got to actually fly around for a little bit and then you started to notice the anomalies with the controller?
For about 5 days, I tested my drone because I could tell something was going wrong with the GPS and the compass. So I tested it around camp in about 7 different places to see how far I could fly it before the GPS and the internal compass started to glitch out on me. And when I took it flying that one night, I could tell that the GPS was going out, my coordinates were not being tracked, and then it said just complete aircraft disconnection. And that is when my drone went down, and I was out by Heyoka for 3 hours looking for it. Still haven't recovered it, but it's okay. We'll get another one.
Well, thank you. And we're going to continue to update as we're doing this, answering your guys' questions that's happening out there. A lot of people have questions,
There's a lot of questions
of what's going on here and what's happening with the drill pad. I seen them working today. You can see the equipment working.
You can see the crane.
My goal here is to familiarize myself again with the area. It's been over 2 weeks I've been gone, and it's a little bit the energy has definitely changed here, especially since the Trump administration is just, it's really hard to see that our indigenous people are going to be ones that are paying for it, but all the farmers and Americans along the way that had to sacrifice as well for that eminent domain from a international energy company. So the other thing about the camps, tomorrow we'll be able to update you. I ran into Chase today, get an interview and see what's going on with them. Also, the talking with people, I think it was really important to share with them that we are here in solidarity. I'm here representing myself, and without that though, you also are representing your family, and then also you're representing your community back home. So I got to share some of that with our relatives down there. I've asked them if they've been to the front line, and just in a kind of gentle way. I'm not trying to judge anyone. I just want to remind them that these are sacred sites. They're desecrated sacred sites from what we've seen with Morton County, and from the air you can see that they've even started widening, making like a plowing, I want to say like a parking lot on the other side. It was who I witnessed today. So the drone went down. We GPSed it, looked for it. It was not there. And the technology we witnessed them using is that they're using a line of sight, and what it does is it takes over your wireless and then brings it back. This is nothing new. We knew this, but they have to be in line of sight. It just doesn't hit. So they're protecting the drill pad. There's somebody over there, and there's a lot of military vehicles around the drill pad. So we're gonna have to go old school and just go with straight video photography like I was doing in the very beginning, and to document this and bring you guys what's happening on the truth up here along the, which is right there. So not only that, we know that they watch Digital Smoke Signals live feed. So we want to send blessings out to them and know that tonight they drink water. Today they drink water. When they got up in the morning, they probably drink water, and that we're praying for them, and that what they're doing is wrong. They're desecrating sacred sites. They don't even know it. And so as I know that they're watching this, and I know Morton County is also watching this, they were up on the line. We've seen them over there as well. And their roads, they took no account into covering in any way, showing that they were desecrating these areas. So as the snow is starting to melt, you can see these roads everywhere through there. They did no accountability to ask the tribe. You know, we respect this sacred site, so we're going to ask you. But I want to know, guys, that when they came through the North Treaty Camp, they human feces on the remaining items that were at camp. Human feces for radio station, I will only say it, human feces are both pee and poop. I won't say the other one so they can air it. This is what we documented that they did at the camp. And what they did is they got a loader and they just scooped it all up into a bin, and they brought it over by the BIA. If you guys remember where we documented the BIA barricade was over on the reservation, they dumped it right there. And what kind of human does that? And the human that is not healthy and that is sick. And I remind everyone, I documented this up there. They wouldn't let me go onto the camp, so we let another sister go on with the camera and document it. And she got photos and video of that as well while they documented her. They told me we could not film. I ran into an officer later on that week who said that he knew it was wrong, and he says it wasn't me, and he says I want to apologize. And those are the sadness things that we see, is that sacred items that are hundreds of years old, eagle feathers, you know, regalia, traditional dancing regalia that our native women and some of the men had up there, the sweats, which are like the churches for non-natives. To put feces on there and to do this is beyond belief. And it's one of the things that we're witnessing on this side with Dakota Access Pipeline, security mercenaries, as well as the officers and the different agencies of officers as well. This is a legacy of Bismarck. This is a legacy that they're leaving. Mind you that we also have to take accountability for our own actions with the guys on the front line. They don't represent all of us as well. And they definitely don't represent me. A water protector is not a water protector. And so we're holding ourselves accountable as well. And we're not perfect with that. We're going to do the best we can to make sure that we educate and empower our water protectors to be respectful and to continue to stand in solidarity and protect the water, but also stay in prayer in this demonstration of prayer here. Keep reminding everybody that when we step outside of that circle and we have Morton County that starts inciting the riot, if we're doing the inciting the riot, then the Dakota Access Pipeline can write that off as a riot. They get their insurance money and they continue to move forward. And then Morton County continues to do their inciting a riot, and they're going to continue to what we documented again is violating our due process. Water protectors are getting ready to go to court in February. Some of their charges are being dropped, and many of them are being brought back. I'm going to do some interviews with people so you can get exactly what's going on in the Morton County Police Department and in the court, and see that this is still escalating with the new administration. We're trying to figure out who's going to hold them accountable if the governor doesn't hold them accountable. All right, relatives, I'm going to quit there. We're going to go down and make sure that we're getting set up. People are still setting up here. They're digging in. They're staying warm. And I'll go through and see what the camp needs. But again, I want to say be careful, be cautious for people fundraising. I've heard from several people that they've had distress signals from inside the camp. We also know from Kyle Thompson that the infiltrators are real. He posed as a water protector. He had the sniper rifle. So we know infiltrators are real. We know they cause problems. And we know they're the ones that start to fight in the front lines as well. So don't believe some of the people calling in and saying, we're in distress, we need money. And, you know, that's not how it's done. That's not the way a water protector does it. So be mindful, and feel free to ask questions. You have is there any questions that anybody's on there wanted to ask?
No, I don't think so. There was some in the beginning. But I'll address some of these questions as soon as we're done.
So let me look through a few of these. Picking out the trolls. You know, sometimes I want to remind you guys, sometimes the mean faces are just people who are angry with what's being said. Not that they're angry and being trolls.
Yeah.
That's what I learned along the way. So everyone is equally right to their own opinion. And I want to make sure that even our non-natives and people who disagree with me, and even our native people that may disagree with me, we're bringing you visually what we see here. This is what we see right here. Now that we have a women's indigenous group out there documenting too what's happening on the ground, and that's what we need. We need it from all perspective. I like to see an elders media group. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Yeah.
Get an elders media group out there. That would be amazing. And our youth media group. But it is getting dangerous. What I was told on this far side over there, I call it Dapple of the far side, is that they're also trying to take people so you can't go out there on your own. Nor should we. People die in this type of weather if they do go out there. So people are being mindful. And so far today, I didn't see anything disrespectful. I saw people working, cutting wood, and communicating. That's what I've seen today. And with that, relatives, let me scroll through here. How many marched? Let's see. I'm calling the human rights. Let's see.
I want to know if that's Dapple lights. Yes, those are Dapple
Yes,
lights.
yes, those are Dakota Access Pipeline lights. They're about a mile,
A mile and a half.
little mile and a half from point A to point B.
From Backwater Bridge all the way to...
What about the leadership cohesion at the camp? You know, I can't give you it all in one sum. I'm gonna have to chip away at it. We'll find out who the elders are, who's holding them accountable, and just continue to share with you what can you do when the camp moves. Here's what we got to do. We're gonna need your help. And so it's great to organize people together in your community, not to stay, okay? Also vet them. Put them through a vetting process to make sure that you guys aren't sending somebody up here with sexual abuse or violence against women or any of those charges that could hurt the camp and hurt the cause and hurt the community. We want people that have been vetted to come up here and be able to help the water protectors that are good water protectors in standing, and definitely where our Native women feel safe. That's very important. Okay, any final words there?
No, everyone stay warm, be safe. Let's stay in prayer.
Oh, and share with you guys the horse lens here, because it looks like a horse leg. Look at that.
Oh my God, that's pretty
Looks like a hoof.
Look at that. That's
So
awesome.
this is how we're documenting. We're documenting over there. We're able to stay away and document clearly, and that's what we're going to continue to do. This is a 600 lens. What I'd like to do is see how I can find an extension for the 600, maybe even use a telescope. But these are the tools we're using to document. Also, we'll be doing live streams, so you're going to be able to see this live again. Trying to get set up now, guys. The next few days, be patient with me. I want to make sure that I articulate everything to the T here, that you're witnessing everything that I'm witnessing, and that is accurate as possible. That's the most important part, is accurate from testimonials, for people on the ground, for people on the other side, Morton County. What we're seeing here with the Dakota Access Mercenaries, they're still there with the National Guard, but it looks like a little bit more heavy military presence.
A lot of it
Yeah.
more heavy. And one other thing I wanted to say was that there's been a lot of rumors around camp and a lot of people feeding into those rumors.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say confirm the information before you share it on Facebook.
Good
Just
idea.
All that's doing is getting people really excited for no reason at all.
That's a good one. Confirm your source first. I heard this from my cousin's brother or sister who was on a live feed next to the guy.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
how we're.
gotta be true.
Yeah, it's got to be true. So, all right, relatives, many blessings again. Thank you guys, and stay connected. I'm gonna do the best I can to start doing the morning updates as well as the afternoon and evening time, so you can be more connected. I'm more conscious now that when I was out there with my family getting rejuvenated, that I was in need of seeing those updates, and I can see that you guys are all as well. Thank you for your solidarity when we went to Washington, Portland, and around that area, all the way down through California, Berkeley, our relatives out there in San Diego, many blessings, LA, and thank you guys. Thank you, relatives. Bijat you.